Hello, CC family. Let's practice our week 13 memory work, starting with our timeline. We start with Age of Exploration. Circa 1400 to circa 1600. For Age of Exploration, we just look both ways. Age of Exploration. Next is Prince Henry founds. We do an H for Henry, Prince Henry, and we do the sash like we do whenever there's royalty, Prince Henry founds, School of Navigation, slave trade in Africa, like our hands are bound like a slave trade in Africa, Gutenberg's printing press, this is G for Gutenberg, Songhai in Africa, we do the sign for gold, Songhai in Africa, Tsar Ivan, I for Ivan, Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia. We put our, move this out of the way maybe. We put our hands on our hips twice for Russia. Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia, the Spanish Inquisition. We bring our hands around, they meet in the middle, and then, this for justice, the Spanish Inquisition. Let's put it all together a couple more times quickly, starting with Age of Exploration. Age of Exploration, circa 1400 to circa 1600. Prince Henry founds School of Navigation, slave trade in Africa, Gutenberg's printing press, Songhai in Africa, Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia, the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, one more time. Age of Exploration, circa 1400 to circa 1600. Prince Henry founds School of Navigation, slave trade in Africa, Gutenberg's printing press, Songhai in Africa, Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia, the Spanish Inquisition. Very good. Next, we're going to do for our math now, we have liquid equivalents. And so it's to the tune of All Around the Mulberry Bush. And it goes like this. 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. 2 cups equals 1 pint. 2 pints equal 1 quart. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. Okay, something like that. Let's try it again. 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. 2 cups equals 1 pint. 2 pints equals 1 quart. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. We'll do it one more time in just a second, but I wanted to show you my friend. Can you see him? Maybe I'll bring him closer. My friend, whose name is Gallon Guy. Okay, see, he has a smiley face. He's really happy because this is 1 gallon. Right in the middle. What is it? 4 quarts equals 1 gallon, right? So he has 4 quarts here. His arms and legs are quarts. I'm trying to do it so you can still see it. On each quart, he has 2 pints. 2 pints equals 1 quart, right? And you would draw those on the edges of all the quarts. And then 2 of what equals 1 pint? Do you remember? 2 cups. So these are cups. Kind of looks kind of funny, but this can be a way to remember all the things and how they equal up to each other. First of all, 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. 2 cups equals 1 pint. 2 pints equal 1 quart. 4 quarts equal 1 gallon. This is Gallon Guy. So let's sing that just one more time. 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. 2 cups equals 1 pint. 2 pints equals 1 quart. 4 quarts equal 1 gallon. Very good. Next, for our history sentence, it is tell me about the Kush. Kush is one of our things you might remember from the timeline. It's right before Kush, Assyrians, Babylonians. Remember that? Okay, so tell me about the Kush. And our sentence goes, the Kush mined gold along the Nile River from 2000 BC to AD 350. The Berbers traded gold, iron, and salt in the desert. So we have some hand motions to go with it. K for Kush. The Kush mined gold. We're going to do G for gold. The Kush mined gold along the Nile River. We're just making a river. From 2000 BC to AD 350. It's just a 2 and a 3 to help us remember those numbers, okay? The Kush mined gold along the Nile River from 2000 BC to AD 350. Next is the Berbers. We just do 2 B's for Berbers. The Berbers traded gold, iron, and salt. So we do G for gold, I for iron, and salt. We just pretend like we're salting our food to help us remember that it was salt. Salt in the desert. And we just kind of shield our eyes because, you know, the desert is so hot and sunny. So that'll help us remember that it was in the desert, okay? The Kush mined gold along the Nile River from 2000 BC to AD 350. The Berbers traded gold, iron, and salt in the desert. You could even fan yourself. Remember, it's hot, and you're shielding your eyes from the blaring sun in the desert, okay? Tell me about the Kush. The Kush mined gold along the Nile River from 2000 BC to AD 350. The Berbers traded gold, iron, and salt in the desert. The Kush mined gold along the Nile River from 2000 BC to AD 350. The Berbers traded gold, iron, and salt in the desert. Good. Now for our Latin, we are going back to the Latin noun cases that you already know. You already know this part, but we're going to do our song again. I'll sing it, and then you repeat what I say. Ready? Nominative, subject. Genitive, possessive. Dative, indirect object. Accusative, direct object. Ablative case. Object of the prep. These are Latin noun cases. Sing with me. Okay, I'm going to sing the whole thing with you this time. Maybe you can sing the whole thing too. Here we go. Nominative, subject. Nominative, subject. Genitive, possessive. Genitive, possessive. Dative, indirect object. Dative, indirect object. Accusative, direct object. Accusative, direct object. Ablative case. Ablative case. Object of the prep. Object of the prep. These are Latin noun cases. These are Latin noun cases. Sing with me. Sing with me. Very good. And now for our science. We don't have a song for this. We have some hand motions for it. What are some parts of the geosphere? So some parts of the geosphere are core, mantle, crust, hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere. Okay, so we have the core of the earth, the mantle is around the core, the crust is the outer layer of the earth's crust. Then the hydrosphere is the watery part. The biosphere, the living things. This is a flower coming out of the ground. Biosphere. And atmosphere is like the air and the gases around us. So let's do that one more time. What are some parts of the geosphere? Some parts of the geosphere are core, mantle, crust, hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere. What are some parts of the geosphere? Some parts of the geosphere are core, mantle, crust, hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere. What are some parts of the geosphere? Some parts of the geosphere are core, mantle, crust, hydrosphere, biosphere, atmosphere. Very good. Now for our English today, we spent most of last semester learning all of our prepositions, the whole preposition song. Now we have some compound prepositions. These are still prepositions, but it's more than one word that makes it. And so maybe you can see I've written some of them. I've written the lists we're learning this week on the board. I've written them kind of sideways. I might need to get rid of Gallon Guy here. See ya, Gallon Guy. We have a funny poem that goes with these. And these are the ones we're going to learn. I'll bring you up a little bit closer. According to, in addition to, except for, in front of, out of, instead of. And hopefully those don't look backwards when you look at them. But we have a funny poem to remember these. And so what you're going to do is every time I say the compound preposition, you stand up, and when we're saying the rest of it, you'll be sitting down. Okay? Maybe you practice that in your class. Maybe you just want to do this at home. Okay? So this is how the poem goes. According to Joe, John likes cake. In addition to that, he owns a snake, except for the time he let it out in front of a pig which got bit on the snout. Out of the pig came a great squeal. Instead of complaining, he did a cartwheel. I might have forgotten to stand up for except for. We'll try it again. Okay, ready? According to Joe, John likes cake. In addition to that, he owns a snake, except for the time he let it out in front of a pig that got bit on the snout. Out of the pig, there came a great squeal. Instead of complaining, he did a cartwheel. Can you just imagine what that would look like? The pig who got bit by the snake and then did a cartwheel. I mean, it's kind of funny when you think about it. All right. Geography is our last thing we have, and we are in Western Africa. So let me show you these things we're learning. Western Africa, we have the Atlantic Ocean here over on this side, and then Senegal River, you can see it marked right here, and the Niger River is this longer river that curls around. The Sahara Desert, on our maps, they have it kind of like, it looks kind of like gray or like brownish. They've got it kind of faded in there. It's a really large desert in most of northern Africa. And the last one is the Ivory Coast. I might need to erase a little bit so you can see it here. It's this section here, this purple section. You see that? Ivory Coast. Okay, now we have a song to go with these parts. So you can do it along with me. Ready? Here we go. Western Africa begins with Atlantic Ocean, Senegal River, and Niger River too. Sahara Desert and the Ivory Coast. With Western Africa, we are through. Okay, now I might try to do it on the blank side so you can see if you can mark it. Western Africa begins with Atlantic Ocean. Where is Atlantic Ocean? Should be over here. It's this ocean all along this side of Africa. Senegal River. Do you see it? It's coming right here. And Niger River too. Where's Niger River? Here it is. The Sahara Desert. Now this map makes it really obvious where the Sahara Desert is, right? Can you see it? It's this big gray section all through most of northern Africa here. The Sahara Desert and the Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast might be a little bit harder to find on this map. Do you see it? It's this shape right here. And Ivory Coast. With Western Africa, we are through. Western Africa begins with Atlantic Ocean, Senegal River, and Niger River too. Sahara Desert and the Ivory Coast. With Western Africa, we are through. One more time. Western Africa begins with Atlantic Ocean, Senegal River, and Niger River too. Sahara Desert and the Ivory Coast. With Western Africa, we are through. Very good practicing your Week 13 memory work, and I will see you soon at CC.